And last thought on Shaq Smith. So let's move over to Shaq Smith real quick.
Sure.
He just announced that he's going to go and go into the transfer portal. And a lot of people are like, man, what's going on? But if you look at the depth chart, if you look at kind of last year, going into this year, you can kind of see it develop. James Skalski, Brent Venables has just been waiting on him to get back. And they actually had him redshirt on purpose because they knew he wasn't going to be ready for the entire season or good to go for the entire season. So they just said, hey, let's go ahead and redshirt, take one for the team. We'll get you back this year. And so James is ready. Shaq Smith is going to fight with Chad Smith, and apparently Chad Smith was already ahead of him in the depth chart going into last year. So it seems that there hasn't been much improvement, unfortunately. I like to say when I look back at the spring game that I felt like he did well, but then when I look back at the highlights, a couple of highlights I saw were actually from Jake Venables. And
Yeah.
who knows if that plays a little part in some of the drama that's shaping up in that linebacker room. I don't want to, imagine things that aren't happening, but Jake Venables stopped Feaster a couple of times in the spring game. And so I feel like if you've been around your dad and you've been obviously knowing his plays and knowing his system, and you're up against, even though you're younger, you're up against a guy who has now, this is his 5th year, not being able to pick up the system enough to give confidence to become a starter. And Brent Venables is really picky about who he makes a starter at linebacker. And I'm not saying Shaq Smith's not smart. He's about to graduate. He's already graduated. He's a smart guy. I'm not saying anything about his intelligence. But there's a reason why he's not the number one guy. And it's not because of because of what I say. There's something going on in that locker room that's saying, hey, going on the field in the practice fields, they're saying, hey, you're a 5-star guy from IMG, had everything going for you. We're giving you all the shots possible, but for a graduate guy, it's, to me, I wouldn't want to wait, and then, but this is my other problem. If he goes to another team, he's already been known to struggle to pick up our playbook. So he's going to pick up a team. Now we are mid-May. He's going to pick up some random team, jump in there.
Right.
I mean, granted, any other team, more than likely, he can pick up and just win by talent alone.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And it's just, that's why it's so much stuff. There's so much things that happen on, kind of in the background that we're probably never going to hear about. So can he pick up the playbook? I don't know. The best of luck to him. Like I said, he's a physically imposing guy. He looks great coming off the bus. So hopefully, he can get into a defense where they just say sick him and he just kind of goes after him. I think that would be what's best